The story of Nancy Guthrie began like any ordinary Saturday evening in Tucson. Her family shared dinner, laughter, and warmth, unaware that the night would soon spiral into fear. At around 9:30 p.m., Nancy, 84, was dropped off at her home, a quiet single-story ranch tucked into the Catalina foothills. Using her walker, she entered safely. But by early morning, something would go horribly wrong. Her routine, her independence, and her life were disrupted in a matter of hours. That ordinary night marked the beginning of an 8-day search and an anxious nation watching every development. Nancy Guthrie, the heart of a family. Nancy wasn't just a grandmother. She was the linchpin of her family. After losing her husband suddenly, she raised 3 children alone. Her family describes her as joyful, sharp-minded, and fiercely independent. Friends, neighbors, and church members echo the same sentiment. She was kind, resilient, and full of life. Her home was her sanctuary, where she shared stories, laughter, and love with her grandchildren. For someone so grounded, her disappearance struck a chord far beyond her family. This was a woman whose absence created a void that could be felt immediately, both at home and across her community. A home that became a crime scene. Nancy's home, usually a symbol of safety, became the focus of a tense investigation. Deputies discovered signs of forced entry, damage to door and window frames, and drops of blood inside the house. There was no indication she left voluntarily. The pacemaker she relied on stopped transmitting data overnight, marking a narrow window of critical concern. Her medications, essential to keep her heart and chronic conditions stable, were left behind. The scene made one fact terrifyingly clear. Nancy had been taken against her will. Every detail in that home now pointed to a deliberate act that threatened her life. The timeline, Saturday night to Sunday morning. The timeline is precise, and every minute matters. Nancy entered her home around 9:50 p.m. Saturday. For a few hours, her pacemaker signaled normally. Then, between 1:45 a.m. and 2:30 a.m., the device went silent. By morning, alarm bells rang. Nancy did not attend her church service, a routine she never missed. Relatives rushed over, found the home empty, and immediately called authorities. Deputies arrived within hours, declaring the residence a crime scene. That narrow overnight period is now the critical focus. Investigators know that in cases like hers, time is not just precious. It is life-threatening. The health urgency. Nancy's medical vulnerabilities make this abduction particularly perilous. Her pacemaker monitors her heart, and daily medications manage chronic pain and cardiac conditions. Skipping even one day could trigger rapid deterioration, confusion, weakness, heart events, or worse. Doctors warn that elderly patients with such conditions have very little margin for error. Without her care, every hour becomes exponentially more dangerous. This reality has intensified the search. Each passing day without confirmed proof that she is safe increases the risk to her life, adding a layer of urgency that authorities, family, and volunteers feel acutely. The search escalates. By Monday, February 2nd, the search was in full force. Ground teams combed the Catalina foothills, helicopters and drones scoured the terrain, and volunteers canvassed neighborhoods. Surveillance footage from doorbells, traffic cameras, and license plate readers was reviewed repeatedly. Yet, the secluded nature of the area made tracing the abductor difficult. No fleeing vehicle, no clear footprints. Still, evidence at the scene confirmed abduction. Authorities, understanding the medical urgency, immediately prioritized her case. Every hour became a race to locate Nancy alive. The combined resources of deputies, agents, and volunteers exemplified the seriousness of the situation. Public attention and pressure. As days passed, the case drew national attention. Experts, forums, and public discussions flourished online, speculating on motives and possible outcomes. But authorities maintained restraint. Each statement from investigators focused solely on bringing Nancy home safely. The public, family, and media pressure, while intense, also served to keep the abductor under scrutiny. In high-profile abductions, this combination of pressure, resources, and attention often increases the likelihood of recovery. Every day without a confirmed location was a test of patience and strategy, balancing hope with caution and preventing impulsive actions that could jeopardize her safety. Day 8, a critical moment. 8 days into the search, uncertainty remains, but patterns emerge. Public and private communications show a shift in behavior. Stress, impatience, and even anger, which may prompt errors by the perpetrator. Statistical data offers cautious optimism. Adult abductions with clear foul play indicators are resolved within the first 30 days in approximately 70 to 75% of cases. Elderly victims, while medically fragile, also have a surprisingly high survival rate when cases receive sustained law enforcement focus. The sustained public attention, combined with intensive investigative work, makes survival possible, even in situations that initially appear hopeless. The open questions. Critical questions persist. Who sent the latest ransom demand? Is it the same individual who abducted Nancy? Has she been given any water or medication? Did anyone in Tucson see or hear anything unusual late on January 31st or early February 1st? Small details could provide breakthroughs. Authorities urge residents, commuters, and anyone with potential information to step forward. Even minor observations may connect dots investigators haven't yet uncovered. In cases like Nancy's, seemingly trivial details, a vehicle, a conversation, a fleeting sighting, can be the key to solving the mystery and ensuring her safe return. The families enduring Fight Nancy's children, while under immense stress, continue to coordinate with law enforcement and the community. They remain a symbol of persistence and hope. The family's focus is singular. Bring her home alive. Public messages emphasize vigilance, prayer, and sharing information. Every tip could be the one that leads to her recovery. The world watches as they balance heartbreak with unwavering determination. Their resolve underscores a universal truth. In crises like this, family, community, and authorities must work together relentlessly, keeping attention sharp and hope alive, no matter how tenuous the situation may feel. Why every detail matters. Each element of this investigation is vital. Time of disappearance, medical vulnerabilities, physical evidence, witness accounts, and behavioral patterns of those involved. The combination of high public attention, dedicated law enforcement resources, and meticulous evidence gathering increases the chances of a positive outcome. For Nancy, this is not just a case number. It is a race against time and medical necessity. Authorities, volunteers, and family are acutely aware that small gaps in information or delays in response could be the difference between life and death. Every tip counts. Every observation could be the breakthrough. Closing. Keep Nancy in the light. Nancy Guthrie's story is far from over. She is an 84-year-old woman who has spent her life choosing hope and light, now relying on the vigilance, compassion, and courage of those around her. The search continues, fueled by community, law enforcement, and family commitment. Every report, tip, and public post could bring her closer to home. As the days progress, the public's role remains clear. Watch, listen, and report anything unusual. Nancy's life depends on collective attention, perseverance, and care. Keep her name in the light and continue to push for her safe return.